This will be the third meeting between the Bengals and the Bills in the playoffs. The first two meetings were not only victories for Cincinnati, they were part of the first two Super Bowl runs for the Bengals. That first meeting came in January of 1982. The Bengals beat Buffalo in a divisional game, 28-21. The post-game locker room was filled with a bunch of young and optimistic Bengals.
You know, I haven't been here a long time, but first time I've ever been on a winning team like this, and I think we got a shot at going all the way.
It's been fun, and I think that if we can just keep playing our ball game, that we may end up in Pontiac with the big boys.
Yeah, young Mr. Collinsworth was right about that. The Bengals won the Freezer Bowl the following week and advanced to Super Bowl 16 in Pontiac, Michigan. 7 years later, the Bengals and Bills met in the playoffs again. It was January of 1989. The Bengals beating the Bills 21-10. That was the AFC Championship and sent the Bengals on the Super Bowl 23. Both of those Buffalo playoff games were played at Riverfront Stadium. This was the scene as fans poured into that game in January of '89 inside the typical playoff madhouse. Bengals fans were confident, and the same could be said for the Bills Mafia, maybe way overconfident. Here's a sampling of what the fans were saying back then, starting with a Bills fan who was just a little bit over the top.
Oh, the Bills are going to win. I ain't got no doubt about it, because that adrenaline is just flowing, and the Bills are going to do it. Ooh, yeah! Ooh, yeah!
Game doesn't even cover this. This is life.
I tell you what, let's get back to what's really important. The game. Hooray!
Yes, Mr. Springer. Whatever happened to him? Did he do a talk show or something? I think maybe he did. So, in two playoff meetings, the Bengals are 2-0. The Bills lead the all-time series with 17 wins, 15 losses, and the Bills are 10-5 against the Bengals in Buffalo. So, both times the Bengals beat the Bills in the playoffs. Cincinnati went to the Super Bowl, and both times the Bengals met the 49ers in the Super Bowl. San Fran's still alive in the NFC playoffs, so maybe it happens again, and maybe the third time is a charm for Cincinnati.